I don't think we ever fully unpacked just how strange Mike Johnson is as a person. A guy who monitors what videos his son is watching, a relationship that actually goes both ways for some reason, and he's also just a religious fanatic. But that's all we seem to know about Mike. There's some other stuff that he's clearly hiding, at least according to one TikTok user who is now making an accusation that they have proof that Mike Johnson is gay. And it's because this TikTok user is furious that Mike Johnson is covering something else up, the Epstein files. And so now he's threatening Mike and a story that is unfolding in a very crazy way that we are going to get into. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we can get into this TikTok with the accusation against Mike Johnson, we have to start with the reason for it, because the user said he'll go public with this information unless the Epstein files come out. And it's not just the Epstein files, it's the swearing in of one member of Congress, the brewing fight over Adelita Graalva's congressional swearing in the Epstein files. Democrat Adelita Graalva cruised to a landslide victory last week, winning her congressional special election by roughly 40 points. Once sworn in, she'll be Arizona's first ever Latina congresswoman, succeeding her father, the late Representative Raul Graalva, and she'll narrow the GOP majority in the U.S. House. Republicans will hold 219 seats to the Democrats' 214, with 2 vacancies remaining. What's more, upon arriving on Capitol Hill, she's also said that she intends to sign a pending discharge petition to force disclosure of the Jeffrey Epstein files, currently being held back by Donald Trump's Justice Department. Proponents of the effort are currently one member short of 218 signatures. But Graalva's support would trigger a process that House Speaker Mike Johnson would be largely powerless to stop. All the Arizonan has to do is wait for the chamber to return from its current break, at which point she can take the oath of office. At the heart of the matter is a question about how best to deal with routine electoral bureaucracy. In theory, Graalva should be sworn into Congress on October 7th, the day members get back to work. This would be consistent with standard practice. But there are growing concerns that Republican leaders in the chamber will try to delay Graalva swearing in until officials in Arizona certify the special election results, which again were not close, but will take weeks. The House Speaker's office hasn't elaborated on its plan, saying only that the chamber would wait for the appropriate paperwork, but as a practical matter, Congress has already received the appropriate paperwork. Arizona's Secretary of State's office notified the House clerk last week that Graalva is the unofficial election winner based on the lopsided result. So what does this have to do with the recent rumors about Speaker Mike Johnson? Well, here's the background. A TikTok user claimed they had information connected to an online dating platform and suggested it involved Johnson. They went further, saying they would release this information under certain political circumstances. Now, it's important to note these are unverified claims. What makes it relevant, though, is how this controversy is being tied into larger issues, including the ongoing discussions about Epstein and the looming government shutdown. A shutdown that Speaker Johnson has been accused of misleading the public about.
They haven't backed off on any of those demands, Sean. You had it right. They want to take hard-earned taxpayer dollars, and they want to give new benefits to illegal aliens. We eliminated that in our big, beautiful bill. They want to bring it back. They want to prop up NPR and PBS. They want $500 million. That's their demand in their counteroffer, to prop up the Corporation for Public Broadcasting again. We're not doing that. Left-leaning media outlets don't need to be funded by taxpayers. They want to spend $1.5 trillion on a simple 7-week stopgap funding measure so our appropriators can get back to the job of just funding the government. And it's really a crazy thing to watch.
So here's what's happening. Johnson is being accused of blocking Adelita Graalva from being sworn in. A move that critics say is designed to make it easier for Republicans to push through their agenda during the government shutdown fight and to stall the release of documents tied to Epstein. Meanwhile, one TikTok user is furious about this situation and has threatened to go public with allegations about Johnson's private life. It's a bizarre twist to an already chaotic moment. Take a look.
Hey, here's a message for Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. Pay attention, bud. This is for Mike Johnson. If you're not Mike Johnson, you can keep scrolling or you can stay here and listen to what I have to say. Hey, Mike, you have until Wednesday to swear her in. Wednesday. Or I will release your Grindr profile and your IP address. I bring receipts, bitch. You're not going to sit there and actively work against LGBTQ rights and democracy. It is treason. Yeah, I'm calling you out for treason. You have until Wednesday to swear her in and let democracy take its course, or I will release your Grindr profile and your IP address. Connects both to you, Mike. The choice is yours. Do the right thing. Because I'm petty. And I'm not above this bullshit. Go fuck yourself.
Now, I'm not here to confirm or deny any personal rumors, because how could I know? What I will say is that Speaker Mike Johnson has been acting in ways that raise eyebrows. His response to the recent speculation has been unusual, and it comes at a time when his leadership is already under intense pressure. The bigger issue is what's happening behind the scenes. Johnson and Republican leadership continue to delay, stall, and push back on key processes. For example, several special elections that should have taken place weeks or even months ago in states like Texas are being postponed. Governor Greg Abbott knows that the longer these elections are delayed, the longer it takes for Democrats to fill seats in the House. And Johnson is nervous about that, because with such a slim Republican majority, every seat matters, especially during this high-stakes government shutdown fight. And on that shutdown, we got an important update from Lawrence O'Donnell. Take a listen.
The spot where the very first president of the United States was inaugurated, you have to travel a couple hundred miles north of Washington, D.C. George Washington actually took his first oath of office as president in Lower Manhattan on Wall Street, in a spot that is now commemorated for that historic moment. For what turned out to be a brief, shining moment, New York City was the first capital of the United States of America for a little over a year. George Washington lived then not in a big White House, but in a New York City rental, like so many millions of us have since that time. New York City in those days was, in every important sense, the center of the United States of America. And for a brief, shining moment today, New York City was, in a sense, the center of our political world once again. Two guys from Brooklyn and a guy from Queens walk into a room to discuss the immediate future of the government of the United States of America. It's all up to them. If those three New Yorkers reach an agreement, the government continues its normal operations. If they don't, the government shuts down. They didn't reach an agreement today. And so we are now 26 hours away from Donald Trump's next shutdown of the American government. The last time the government shut down was the last time Donald Trump was president. One of the guys from Brooklyn reminded the guy from Queens that there were no government shutdowns when Joe Biden and the Democrats were in charge.
When I was leader, we negotiated 4 times with Republicans, and we never had a shutdown. And so it's up to the Republicans whether they want to shut down or not.
The two guys from Brooklyn tried to explain to the guy from Queens that he was hurting people who cannot afford dramatic increases in their health insurance costs. But trying to explain that to the guy from Queens isn't easy because he doesn't know those people who struggle with the cost of health care. The guys from Brooklyn went to local Brooklyn public schools. Chuck Schumer, now the Democratic leader of the United States Senate, is a proud graduate of James Madison High School on Bedford Avenue in Brooklyn. Hakeem Jeffries, now the Democratic leader of the United States House of Representatives, is a proud graduate of Midwood High School on Bedford Avenue, about 10 blocks north of Chuck Schumer's high school. And Donald Trump is the rich kid from Queens who now occupies an Oval Office he has stained with the vulgarity of his obsession with gold, and he went to boarding school.
This is a real opportunity for Democrats to step up and show the American people exactly how Donald Trump misused the government for his own benefit and why it has to stop. It's time to fight back with real determination. Chuck Schumer, don't trust Republicans on this. Don't send them thank you notes in advance, and don't settle for another empty, strongly worded letter. That won't cut it. And if it happens, we'll call it out right here on this show. We've always promised to shoot straight with you. And we will. Now, when it comes to Speaker Mike Johnson, I've laid out the facts, and I'll leave it at that. But what matters most is that we hold leaders accountable, no matter who they are. And if you want to stick with us through all of it, including our continued coverage of this shutdown fight, you can support the show by hitting that subscribe button and giving this video a like. If you made it this far, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I will see you soon.